Yes, so you can't be feeded by yourself because you are connected to the roots. It's like a tree. A father is your roots. How are you gonna be feeded on your own? You're connected to your mom or your dad. So every time you glitch, you go out of the way, it's not gonna work. It's like every time you act on your first dimension of life, which is earth, dealing with objects, people in front of you, parents, father, mother, sister, brother, okay? That reflects to the seventh dimension that connected to your creator right away. Through that seventh dimension that reflects on you, you're gonna be able to go through the second dimension of your life. And then to the third, how to deal with outside of the house. So just look anywhere you are now on earth, which house, what's your spot? And be in that dimension as a soul, as a human being. Sometimes you get into through the seventh dimension in your life on a daily basis, and you needed a small puppy to take care of it. You needed a dog. You're taking care of dog. You go buy a dog. You want to be with a dog. You're connected now to the seventh dimension. How you're going to be acting on earth with animals, with dogs, with cats. Now, these moments, being with that animal, that brings you back to who you are. Now you got busy with that dog and you want him, give him time more than the people that want to give you time. But the thing is to start your first dimension, which is your first foundation in your life, to go through the seventh dimension during the day. You are going through the seventh dimension every day, every single day. Every problem, every crisis, every obstacle, every dip, every bump in front of you, that's supposed to be and negativities to come up to the positive way. So the way you act on the first dimension in your life, either reflects, it's gonna reflect right there. Now, your first dimension is gonna throw you to the second dimension, but that second dimension is gonna be different dimension than your brother or your sister or your father or your mother having it. That dimension you're gonna be thrown on, which is the second dimension outside of this house. It could be a bad friend. It could be drugs. Could be the street. Could be someone who wanted to take advantage of you. These, you put yourself into the space-time. You put yourself into the space-time by dealing with the first dimension on Earth with the people around you. So if you would be able to deal with mom and dad, your first dimension, which is included brother and sister, these gonna be leading you to the second dimension of life, which is outside of this house. How are you gonna deal with people? How are you gonna deal with your partner in life? How are you gonna choose your man? How are you gonna choose your woman? How? If you don't even know how to choose your parents is your root that's feeding you. Which is, if you don't accept that from your mom, trust me, you're not gonna accept it from your sister. If you don't accept from dad, you're not gonna accept from brother. If you don't accept from mom, you're not gonna accept from sister. So, in which case, or in which dictionary that you can find it, how you can make someone outside your lover, your fiancé, your spouse happy if you're not making your sister happy? How are you gonna make your spouse, your husband happy if your brother is not happy? Just trust me, it's not gonna work. So life and getting into some kind of relationship into the future outside of this house depends on the family. It's like a ladder. The ladder has a couple of steps, maybe 3, 4, 5. Let's say 5 steps. 5 steps. The first step in the ladder, if it's not strong, it's not gonna lead you to the second step, which is the first step is your mom or your dad. If it's really strong enough, it's gonna lead you on the second step in your life, which is your brother and sister. You know, you have been created from male and female, feminine and masculine. And your brothers too, female and male, brothers and sisters. If you're not being able to do or to deal with your brother, just make sure you're not gonna be able to deal with your boyfriend or girlfriend or your fiancé or your spouse. No. So this is the foundation of life, which is start from mom and dad, even if they split, even if they're not together, they still have to work it out so you can understand the meaning of being outside. If you're not happy inside your house with your brother and sister, you'll never be happy with your husband or your wife outside. Never. It's not easy. It's not easy to survive. So you go through the 7 dimension on a daily basis. Your brothers, sisters, your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your friend, your partner, your enemy, your friend, could be one of your, could be part of a dimension you are going through and you are rejecting to go through that dimension. A lot of people, they only live in one dimension or 2 or 3. As a matter of fact, we're not living in a dimension. No one is living in couple of dimensions. Most people live in 1 dimension or 2 or 3 dimensions, maximum. Not mostly, 95%. So the dimension is like the circle. Start from earth, from ground, how to deal with objects, from point A to point B. If you are success in that, it will reflect. It will reflect. That 7th dimension will lead you to another dimension to progress, to go through in life. You go up, 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 up. It's like your watch. You're living your time. So space-time, you create space-time by following the time. But don't stick into the positive and negative way, the mechanical system inside. If you stick on it, if you make a dig on it or a bump on it, that's gonna delay the second needle on your watch. Yeah, so when you go through the second dimension in your life, which is, or the third one, or you see any obstacles, any crisis in front of you, that means it reflects on the other dimension that you have to be complete the circulation to see the result. You have to go back to the first dimension to see the result of your crisis. Allah said, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. That means the result is on the other side and come at the same time. So just